Oh, hey guys. Unfortunately, I may have some bad news or even some good news that was passed along today. Well, there was an infrastructure bill that had just passed that's going to really impact us all, even those driving electric vehicles. Now, that's something I haven't really heard talked about a whole lot because people are often saying, yes, this infrastructure bill is being passed to tax people per mileage driven. Now, while in fact that is true, it's a pilot program to test the whole scenario out and see how to best use it. Is it going to be used? Oh, absolutely. And in the past, it's been used in many states and tested, such as California, Washington. If you've been a part of one of those pilot programs, please tell us all about it. Let us know, because obviously it's going to affect the state and federal taxes paid on fuel. Typically you would pay per gallon. I hear a lot of people talking also about the cost on fuel efficient vehicles, and that it's to enable those people driving fuel efficient vehicles to actually have to pay a greater amount of taxes. But probably the most common misconception is it's to basically get rid of gas vehicles. Now, I wouldn't entirely say that's true. It's not really leaning towards that direction. Actually, what I hadn't heard spoken of a lot, as I just previously mentioned, is electric vehicles. Think about it. People that use electric vehicles, that's one of the biggest advantages. If you took away all the taxes on fuel, well, you're going to pay substantially less, and it's not quite the same as someone paying for gasoline. So this is to go ahead and more or less initiate that program so we can get an idea of best how to use it. Now, how may this happen? At the pump, for those using gas. What about electric vehicles? Could be at registration. There's a lot of ways this could play out. In Washington, however, there are certain laws that actually protect the money collected for taxes on the gasoline in the 18th Amendment. This allows them to not allocate those funds collected towards education or other purposes rather than spending it for highway purposes. And they have a trust fund, so to speak. Well, how would that play out? How would it be affected? Would it affect those people as well and their constitutional right? Well, I'm not so sure, and I don't want to lean one way or the other. Because what about people not driving a lot? What about truck drivers? This could greatly impact them as well. You know, they recently done a study a few years back in Connecticut as well. Now, often these pilot programs entail using this information collected, and they don't charge these people any taxes. In this particular program, I believe what they do is they actually do not collect any of those taxes. Like I say, it's just a test protocol. They're going to perform different testing, and what they'll do is make them record all the information. And how do you make sure someone's not actually cheating this method? What about the current fuel tax? Well, supposedly this will do away with the current fuel tax per gallon, and it's supposedly for electric vehicles, or at least it sounds that way. Yes, we're moving in that direction, so it would make me think, from the way everything looks, which brings up other questions, that this is to make up for those vehicles, because how else would you do so? You need to put in some sort of program, because currently the more people that get electric vehicles, well, you see what's going to happen. There's going to be less tax revenue. And that's not the only issue. That's why it's so unclear. This is in the 508 page of the infrastructure bill, and honestly you have to dig through a lot of red tape. Why is it done this way? Why couldn't we have handled it differently? That raises a lot of questions, no doubt. Now, who's to say what's correct? Honestly, I'm really believing in the whole electric vehicle situation, because you have to do something about that, especially as you transition. You don't want to wait until over half of America has actually purchased electric vehicles, because look how much money you're going to lose in the long run. I mean, please let me know any information that you have. Drop down in the comments, tell us all about it. I'd love to read about it. And anyone else looking for any answers, just go down to the comments. This is where all the smart people go to share a lot of great information. As always, guys, I want to thank you for watching Nate's Interactive Auto.